Hello, and welcome to the Psychology Diary podcast, where we talk about everything mental health. In this episode, I'll be speaking with Amy. Amy is an employment lawyer, an artist, and a creative. She's the host of the Live Life Well podcast, and she's an advocate of mental health. Plus, she's a storyteller. The interview was amazing, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Listen in.
Also,
Amy, can you tell me more about your work as a lawyer and the Art by the Amy's project?
sure. So I've been working as a lawyer for, I'm into my 6th year, and probably my first year of being a lawyer, I realized that I didn't have a creative outlet and didn't really have anything to, support my mental health while working as a lawyer. So I went looking around and then found modern calligraphy, which is what Art by Ames is all about. And I just kind of fell in love with it. And I found it very therapeutic because I don't know if you know much about modern calligraphy, but it's you have to do it slowly. You can't rush it. And so because of that, then the slow, almost meditative process of it was very relaxing, and it helped relieve, I think, stress from work as a lawyer. And then about a year or two into just doing it as a hobby, I was being asked by friends and family to create pieces of art, for them. And it just got me thinking, and long story short, I started my own side business, which was Art by Ames. There's probably since the last time I updated my profile, there's been some changes as well. Like I've started my own podcast, which is all around helping the millennial generation to live life well and to thrive and not just survive, so that they can live a purposeful, joyful and delightful life. So that's kind of the journey in a snapshot, I guess.
Oh, great. That's amazing. That's very amazing. And did your passion for mental health advocacy fuel your drive to start your podcast?
Yeah, it did, because I realized that my journey was something that would help other people as well. And I became quite passionate about it. And so I thought, particularly during this time of COVID, there was an opportunity for me to start this podcast, having a bit more time on my hands. And the feedback has been really good. And I think it just helps others to think about looking after their own mental health and taking time to look after themselves as well. So yes.
Amazing. It's always great to have. I always like speaking to mental health professionals. It's really, really, really great to have you on the show. And mental health is really important today. And it's important that we take care of our health. It's important that we are looking after ourselves, because health is wealth. So it's important that we take care of it. So what's the relationship between mental health and having a creative spirit?
Sorry, what's mental health?
The relationship between mental health and having a creative spirit.
Okay. I think that if you're healthy in your mind and you have positive kind of thoughts, then that unlocks, I think, the possibility for imagination and creativity. Because I think that if you're bogged down with your emotions and having a negative mindset about life or about work and family, then it's very difficult, I think, for you to think outside of the box, which I think being creative requires you to, think beyond what you can see and use your imagination, have innovation. So I think if you can tap into your creativity and find different ways you can exercise it doesn't have to be artistic. It can be even cooking a new recipe is a way in which you can exercise your creativity. It's about just doing new things. And I think as you do new things, you're expanding your mind and expanding the possibilities. And then that helps, I think, with creating an environment where your mental health can thrive as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Amazing. Amazing. And how can we change people's perspective around mental health stigma?
So I try to do that, I think, by being open about talking about these things. Because I think actually in the legal profession that I'm part of, for a long time, a lot of people were suffering in silence because they didn't want to be seen to be weak or um, have vulnerability, I guess. But I think over the years, because unfortunately a lot of lawyers, we had a bad reputation, I think, as a profession, to have lawyers um, go, because of stress, go say drinking or doing drugs, all that kind of stuff, or just having like a lot of depression in the profession. So I think as to kind of counteract it, there's been a lot more focus, I think, on talking about mental health, looking after yourself, and I think that's opened the doors for people to feel that they can share about those things. So I've definitely seen a shift probably from when I first started as being a lawyer and then till now. There's definitely been more conversations about it. So I think the important thing is to not be don't suffer in silence, is what I would
Okay.
say. Like, talk to someone about it, whether
Yeah.
it's a friend or a professional. Seek help, I think, is where I would suggest people start.
Okay. Amazing. And how important is mental health in the workplace?
Oh, I think it's very important, because I think that similarly, what I said before was, if your mental health is in a good condition, then it helps you to be more alert, to problem solve, and to be able to respond quicker, I think, in circumstances, and that's what we often need as lawyers and solicitors. Like, you need to be able to think quickly and have good discernment in decision making as well.
Okay.
So I think mental health is vital, in the workplace.
Okay, great. So can you just tell me a little bit about the Live Life Well podcast?
Sure. Yeah. So it was something that I probably wanted to start more than 12 months ago. And it was really born out of the fact that when I was on my business journey with Art by Ames, I would have these amazing conversations with other business professionals, not only about business, but about life and how do you manage working, in a full-time job, but also pursuing your passions. And then, I just had these amazing conversations. And then often at the end of them, I'd be like, oh, I wish I had recorded that or been able to share it with others. And it really, it was kind of like a concept for some time. And then it was at the start of 2020. I said that this was the year I was going to start the podcast. And I didn't know, of course, that COVID was going to happen, but I started, just starting to build it. And I think when the COVID pandemic hit, I just realized that it's so important to get these life lessons, I guess, out there and to help others so that they could, have hope, I think, during this period, and have some tools that can help them to thrive and not just, survive the everyday, but actually to be living purposely and to know that they're not alone as well. I think that's such an important part of sharing the lessons that I've learned on my journey of failing forward to
Amen.
pass that on to others.
Amazing. Amazing. That's really brilliant. What three things you want to be remembered for?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question. 3 things to be remembered for. I think my creativity, I think, like being innovative. I would like to be remembered, I think, as someone who's kind to others, and that people feel safe around, me, being able to, for them to share their stories as well. And then I think, someone who was purpose driven, I think, someone who was intentional about their relationships and their, just how they spent their time. Yeah. So.
Amazing, amazing. That's really brilliant. Where can we find you on social media?
Sure. So on social media, you'll find me mainly on Instagram is where I like to hang out most. So it's my handle is at underscore Amy Leong underscore. So I'm using my married name more recently now. And then you can also find me at the Live Life Well podcast Instagram page, which is Live Life Well underscore the podcast on Instagram.
Okay.
Still building a few different platforms at the moment because I've had
Okay.
to shift gears a little bit, but you can also find me on LinkedIn as well. So
Yeah.
you'll find me
Okay.
at Amy Leon.
Great. Great. Final question. If you could take one thing out of the world when you go to heaven, what would that be?
Oh, if I could take one thing out of the world to heaven, what would it be? I've never thought of that question before. I don't know. I think I would I don't know if this is a good thing, but I'd take the good memories, perhaps the memories with family and friends, because I feel that at the end of the day, like will be relationships are our most uh, precious gift, I think, from God. And I hope to be able to just look back on the memories. Maybe we already will have that in heaven, but I think memories and the relationship somehow.
Oh,
I'm
great.
sure that's
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. That's really great. That's really great. It's nice to talk with you, Amy. I really had a nice time.
Yeah, nice to talk to you too. Thank you.
Okay, have a nice day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode. Speaking with Amy was an amazing opportunity. I really learned a lot from her, and I'm sure you did as well. Do well to leave a review on the podcast and subscribe. Till next time, be legendary.